Ah man, what a lovely magazine. Well, let me just unload this really quick. This is my Magpul P-mag 10 for 76251. There's 10 rounds. 10 round magazine. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this should be it, huh? 10. Oh. Uh-oh. There's something wrong with my magazine. 11, 12, 13 rounds? 2 more rounds and I would have been over the 15 round legal limit. Oh no. So, if you haven't guessed, this video is about how to modify your Magpul P-mags. So, this particular configuration has no this thingy, the base plate follower or whatever, and there's a little bug on the floor. Anyway, so and this thing can slide off pretty easily, so you wouldn't want to take this into a battle. So let's put that back in. Put this thing, clipper doodle. I can do this with one hand. Okay, now we're back in battle business. Now you can drop it all you want, and the base plate will not come off. So, how many rounds does this get us? 1, 2. Oh, got rim lock. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, only 12. So that you can do that, right? Another option would be to cut the spring a little bit, so you can add even a little bit more in there. Maybe you could fit even one more round in there without the base plate follower. So how did we do this? First of all, know that there are some consequences in doing this. One, the follower tilts now, which I actually didn't take that into account when I did this modification. And I will show you a way that you can make it at least not stick like that. As you can see, I just filed that down, did a really crude job. And then now the follower no longer sticks right there. It used to be like a little triangular spike protrusion. So yeah. Honestly, when you put the first round in there, it doesn't matter. It straightens out the follower. And even if you push it down, let's see if even if you push it down, like, I mean, the round will come out like once you push it past a certain point, but it'll return back to normal after you put a round in it. So that's one of the cons, and it's now a non-tilting follower. So that's that. And I guess another con would be that when it's loaded that full, since this is a plastic magazine, as you can see, there's flex to it. Depending on what rifle you put it in, it might be squeezing down on the rounds, causing extra friction. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see, the magazine is kind of bulging on the sides from the extra pressure because it's the same spring tension. Actually, it's more spring tension because this modification allows the spring to be compressed even more. Like I said before, you can cut the spring. Now let's see how this loads, being full capacity and there's not really any give to it at all. So let's grab a rifle. This is my Mossberg MVP Patrol in 7.62x51, which is the cartridges we're firing from this. I guess my phone overheated. So it is a tighter fit into the magazine well, and it can be locked into place. It's locked in. So now let's try to cycle the bolt here, and this is on safety. Very tough. Okay, so with this configuration of the magazine, you would have to have the bolt back, then insert the magazine, then push the bolt forward. And it did load the round. Let's see if it cycles through all the rounds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I believe that's the last round. And bolt hold open. Now with the follower, the rear or the bottom follower removed, you can put 12 rounds in here and there's still plenty of give. And you can actually put it in there with the bolt closed. You know, and then it'll... Actually, I'll just demonstrate that. Okay, so that's 12 rounds in there. And you can actually still cycle the round. So... that's that. This is a cool way to unload your magazines really quickly. You gotta find your spring and follower every time though. Okay, well since I found the spring and follower, I will show you what I did to modify it here. I lost one of the pieces, so I can't show it to you entirely. But how this magazine works normally is this follower here would look like this, right? Be about that long. So I just literally shaved that much off, and I just equaled it up with this back here. As you can notice, they're about the same height. Did it with a hacksaw. And then on the bottom follower, I just removed this tab, which would normally come up to about here. Actually, the same height as this chunk. So you just remove the same amount. It'd be about that high. You just remove that, and then when these go together, see, then it allows the spring to be compressed further, and it allows you to put 1 to 2 more rounds in there depending on the configuration. So a way you can test for functionality if you're cutting coils is you thread the needle here, put the main follower in the shell, right, and then put the base plate on. I'm going to guarantee this isn't going to work, and the angle of the spring is not going to help us out. But as you can see, the follower won't even return to the first position. So that coil needs to stay, and you go to the next one, and you just keep on doing this until you find the spring tension that works for your particular magazine. Look at this. I'm going back to the primitive days of using your feet for an extra pair of hands. So this is the magazine after the spring's been cut. I couldn't find all of them, but basically you want to cut... Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about, actually. So basically, you can see how much shorter the magazine spring is. But this is what you're looking at. So my particular setup that works for me is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4... Alright, so we'll start from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coils, and then the extra little flap. So you want to cut the spring in the middle, so similar to this here. And then once you cut in the middle, make sure it's angled in the way that the magazine curves. So you don't want it on this one to where they'd both be kind of parallel. You want it to be on the next coil down to make it have that curve. If you do it like this, you're probably going to run into some problems here. So in my particular case, I cut 2 entire coils, and again, you want to cut them in the middle so you can bend this part back straight with, if you look at my thumb, straight with that. See how it's I kind of ragtagged it? I just took some pliers and bent this part up because it used to be the same angle as this part. That allows it to where you can, you know, put this base plate on and have it actually have full functionality, you know, and then it goes back in place. So let's demonstrate now that I can put 12 rounds in this magazine and have full functionality. So now that I've performed this modification, mainly the reason why this is happening is because the main follower has been modified and cut short. So if I just push on this thing a bunch of times, so I can get it to pop up, and that's just because this lip right here is going above the feed lip right there. See, if I just tilt it to the side and then push it up here, see how it kind of pops out. Let's actually see if we can pull this all the way out. We almost could. So that's a negative of the modification, and again, one of the reasons I don't suggest it for a semi-auto and just for specialized applications like this. But it does feed 12 rounds in here with no problem. And I'm sure, you know, with some tools you could pull the follower out of any regular unmodified magazine too. So, you know, because it is just plastic. So this is 12 rounds. You could be counting if you would like, but you can also trust me. And the magazine is much easier to load. And as you can see now, with 12 rounds, we do have give. And another benefit of cutting the spring is that there's not as much tension on the feed lips when there are 12 rounds in the magazine. So as you can see, there's less flex. This is still 12 rounds, and the magazine is not like flaring outward to an extreme degree. So let me give you an example now. Here's that 12 rounds. Throw it on in the rifle using my feet, the official way to load a gun. And as you can see, watch how effortless it is to go over the round and pick it up. That wasn't so effortless because it kind of got bound up on the rim there, but it does work now. And again, I do not recommend this for semi-automatics because it needs that extra spring tension to bring the next round up, because you know, when you're working a bolt action or you know, single shot kind of thing, you don't really need that really super quick spring tension. But when you're working a semi-automatic or a fully automatic rifle, it's going at literally as fast as the action was designed to go, you know. This modification pretty much takes your P-mag, makes it to where you can hold some extra rounds, takes away the non-tilting function, which in some people's opinion is not, it's not a necessity. Like, you know, our militaries had gotten by without non-tilt followers for a long time, even though they were causing some issues, but they did work, you know. Over the years, we haven't always had non-tilt followers, and many guns function properly. So please like, please subscribe, please comment, share, all that good stuff. I hope you found this video informative, and happy shooting, and I hope to see you all in a future video. Thank you for watching.